Hey everybody, it's your girl Nadia, also known as Urban Farm Sister. So today I'm going to teach you about some items that I recommend that you purchase if you're going to start seeds indoors. First of all, I recommend that you purchase a 10-20 tray. The reason they're called 10-20 trays is because they're 10 by 20 inches long. Now, 10-20 trays come in two varieties. They have some that have holes in the bottom and they have some that do not have holes. I recommend you purchase the one without holes in the bottom so they can hold a little bit of water. This will allow you to sub-irrigate your seedlings instead of having to pour water over top of them. Also, the quality of these can vary. I recommend you buy the more expensive ones. They are made out of a thicker plastic and they won't bend and things when you try to pick them up. Now, there are some cheaper ones, but they are really flimsy and they'll bend, and if there's water in there, they'll start trying to flop over and things. The good thing about these is that you can use them over and over and over again for many years if you take care of them and keep them stored when you're not using them in proper place. Now what goes inside the 10-20 trays are called seedling inserts. So seedling inserts, they come in a number of different cells. In this particular one, it has 6 cells, but you can purchase seedling inserts. In this particular one, I have 128 cells, and this one has 512 cells. The higher the number is usually used by individuals that are either small scale or large scale commercial operations. The reason they want to purchase these is because they can start a large number of seedlings at once. And then what they have to do is they can't leave these in here because these cells are not big enough for the plant to grow to its fullest potential. What will happen if you leave them in here too long, they'll get root bound. They will also start to compete with each other because as they start to develop more and more their true leaves, they will start to get intertwined. They'll start shading each other out, and then they'll just cause your plants to not be so healthy. If you don't want to go the seedling insert route, you can also buy little pots. I think these particular pots are 3 or 4 inch pots. These come in a number of different sizes. They come in a number of different heights. It depends on the plant that you're trying to grow, so you need to know the requirements for the plant you're trying to grow if you're going to purchase these. Now, I also recommend that you purchase a seedling heat mat. A seedling heat mat is going to give off heat. You sit it under the 10-20 tray like this, and you plug it in. And this one has a thermostat on it, so you can set the temperature and things like that. Some of them do not have a thermostat. But the reason that you want to purchase that is because this will allow the seeds that you're trying to sprout to get the heat that they need. Heat is a very important component of germination and sprouting, but heat can vary from seed to seed. Certain plants, they like high temperatures. An example would be peppers. They can sprout at 85 to 90 degrees, but if you're trying to grow spinach or maybe mustard greens or something, they can sprout at a very, very lower temperature. Usually about 45 or 50, they can start to sprout at that temperature. But if you go above 70, those seeds won't sprout because they do not like high temperatures. So when you're trying to sprout from seed, you need to do some research on the plant that you're trying to grow, so you can make sure you get the right requirements for the heat, making sure that you have them at the right temperature, because if you don't have them at the right temperature, you're going to have problems, either them sprouting or them not sprouting. Sprouting could take a long time if you don't have the right temperature, or they could sprout and then die because you have too high. One more item I recommend that you purchase is a humidity dome. So humidity domes are very important because seeds need humidity to carry out germination and sprouting. Again, every seed, every plant is different. The requirements are different, so you need to research what are the humidity levels that this particular seed needs? What are the moisture levels that this seed needs? If you don't know those and you're trying to sprout, you may have issues because you may be in the wrong range. Again, some plants like cool, very moist environment. Some plants like hot, very kind of not extremely dry, but drier than, say, they don't like a high humidity and they don't like the soil and things extra overly moist. So you need to know these requirements for your plants. So once you have your seeds planted and they start sprouting, you're going to have to put them under some type of lighting. So if you're going to put them in a window, you need to make sure you put them in a south-facing window that has at least 8 hours of direct sunlight for the day. If you don't have a south-facing window, you're going to have to incorporate some type of grow light. I recommend that you use fluorescents, but fluorescent lights are being outlawed at the moment, and they are recommending that you buy LED grow lights. The problem with LED grow lights, they don't give off IR waves, which are heat waves that seeds need as they're sprouting. The sun itself gives off those IR waves when it hits the soil, and it allows the seedlings to sprout. But LED lights do not normally have that unless you buy lights that have incorporated IR into them. And those lights can be kind of expensive. So the little cheap $15 LED lights that you find on like Amazon and things are not going to sprout your seeds. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, or you can send me a DM and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, thanks. Bye.